Hello and welcome. I am Trixie Paprika. I am a core company member of Novelties Burlesque, and I am delighted to be here with Carson St. Clair, who is bringing us an act entitled Persephone, based on the webcomic Lore Olympus. So welcome, Carson.
Very excited to share this piece of myself and my obsession with you.
Excellent. We love obsessions here. But before we get into all of that, I want you to just do a quick hello. Tell us about yourself and tell us about what drew you to this act.
Hi, I'm Carson St. Clair. I am a Seattle native. And God, this act it's had 4 different versions of it, and I think it was Maggie McMuffin who turned me on to the web series, and I spent an entire night flipping through my phone reading 110 episodes, and now I read the new episodes every Saturday like clockwork as self-care, sometimes in my bathtub because I'm obsessed with it. It's amazing. Read it if you haven't read it. It's good.
That's excellent. So, Persephone in particular is the character that you wanted to portray. What was it about this character that you wanted to have shine through this act?
I think for this version of it, it is Persephone coming into her own. I think the song choice that I picked is really great. It is entitled Shortcomings, and in the story, Persephone is kind of depicted as naive and sheltered and unaccustomed to the way of the world because she's kept in the mortal realm, and growing up in a very religious household. I kind of identify with that because I grew up very sheltered and naive. And what I wanted to come through in this act was that she, through meeting Hades, but not because of Hades, she discovers herself and more about herself and the power that she holds within herself.
Absolutely. And what approach did you take to creating this act? You said it's had 4 different versions, so presumably there was an initial creation period and then there was a revision period. Can you take us through some of what you did?
Yeah. So the first act I think I created in a week after staying up to 2 a.m. reading this act, and I originally did a version of it to, the one that I do the most is to a version of the Killing Moon. But it's this very slow, dark version of the Killing Moon, and it was Persephone descending into the underworld to be with Hades and really expressing her feelings and kind of seducing him. And then the second version, I did kind of the same idea, but my spouse, my significant other, who is somewhere in this audience, I made him get in makeup and made him a costume and made him do choreography with me. And then the third act, the third revision of it was going to be for Comic-Con of 2020. And I had some ideas for that. And then this one, it was more about listening to music, bringing forth just Persephone and her own journey. And it was kind of feverish. It was I was supposed to do this in February and I got COVID. For the second time. And so I spent a lot of time kind of reading more Lore Olympus as it comes out weekly and spending more time with Persephone and getting to know her a little more.
Totally. Had you encountered the character of Persephone in other works? It's a Greek myth, of course, so it is showed up in a lot of places. She's showed up in a lot of places. Had you encountered her before? And if you have, what was different about this particular portrayal that you wanted to bring to light?
I've discovered, I've run into Persephone many times in common media. I'm a Greek mythology buff. And one thing I like about the more modern interpretation that you see of Persephone is it's, instead of her being tricked by Hades, it's her active choice, which I love, is that she's given her own agency to make the choice to go and spend 6 months in the underworld with the love of her life, who was Hades, and get away from all of the gods of Olympus who are a little nuts. Just a little nuts. And I love that, you know, you get to see in the more modern stories of Persephone, you get to see her come into her own, telling her mother, no, I'm not going to live the life that you wanted for me. I'm going to go do what I want because I am my own person and I have my own power and my own agency and my own voice.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like that really does shine through in that act. That's very powerful. It's really great. Let's see, what else did I want to ask you? Oh, I wanted to ask about sort of what are some of the themes that you see in the webcomic? Is that the right terminology? Okay, webcomic. What are some of the themes that you see that you really wanted to make sure came through? I mean, some of that is you talked about in terms of Persephone's own agency, but are there other themes that you wanted to really bring out and that influenced your creation of this act?
I wanted to, like in the beginning when I come out, I wanted to bring up, you know, Persephone's eagerness, like her excitement to finally be out in the world and getting to go and be a part of Olympus. In the webcomic, she gets, it starts with her going to a party and wearing this very skimpy mini dress. And finally getting to go and just being like, I'm so excited to go to a party and meet people, but then also being like, oh god, people. And I wanted to bring forth her kind of slow journey of not only finding her love for Hades, but finding her love for herself and the power and the voice that she wants to bring forth to the world. And really, I wanted to really make this one about her choice and overcoming what she would have thought of as her shortcomings, like the title song, her being naive. And I think in the webcomic, you see that she is she's caring, she's naive, she thinks the best of people, which bites her in the ass a lot of times. But also that she realizes that her shortcomings and what she thinks are flaws are what makes her super special amongst the gods of Olympus.
Yeah, that's wonderful. How do you think that the author would respond to your interpretation of Persephone and this exploration?
Oh God, I hope she would love it. I think she would actually really enjoy it. I stalk the woman on social media like it's nobody's business. And I really love the way that she embraces and encourages her fans and her readers to create fan arts, drawings, cosplays. I don't think there are more Lore Olympus burlesques. And so I think she would love, I think she would love to see people's interpretations of her characters brought to life and like serving.
Absolutely. I mean, I imagine that somebody who publishes via webcomic is also really excited about that kind of back and forth and interchange.
Yeah, I think she would really I think she might actually get some inspiration from us too, a little bit.
I hope. So we have a couple of fun questions that we always ask, and the one that I wanted to was, what food or drink would you pair with this act? And I was going to ask that, and then I realized that you actually had a glass of wine on stage. So if you would like to discuss the wine as well, go for it.
I did bring wine because I was like, well, pomegranates are really difficult to eat on stage.
Very difficult.
So I hoped it looked pomegranate-y. God, food-wise, I actually thought a lot about this because I love food. I think it would be like a multi-course thing. So I think Goddess of Spring Persephone might be vegetarian. I think she's vegetarian in the books, and so it'd probably be like Ekphrasis or something light and easy, maybe some baklava, and then Underworld Persephone would be like, bring me meat. It'd be like lamb and wine, and it'd be just like decadent. It'd be really good.
That sounds delicious. Is there anything else that you want to tell us about this act before we wrap up our interview and take a look?
I guess I'm excited to see kind of where this act goes. It's become kind of my ever-evolving act, so keep an eye out for it. Who knows what I will do next? It may get weirder. Who knows?
always get weirder.
Always
Bring
get
it back. We here at Novelties love weird.
We love weird.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, and we're excited to see your act.
Thanks.
Thanks for watching Ekphrasis, a production of Novelties Theatre. If you enjoyed this episode, we invite you to make a tax-deductible donation through the link in the video description. And don't forget to like and subscribe below so you don't miss our next episode featuring Butch Alice and Aesop's Fables.